But I do want to move from the crime to the court as the Grizzlies begin their season on Wednesday. And that's just awesome, in my opinion. Basketball in the city. The weather's great in the city. The city is just awesome right now. And you got NBA basketball coming up. But I'll tell you what, wouldn't it be better if the Grizzlies were winning a lot of games this year? And that's going to be the question, because you look at the lines. FanDuel, the biggest sports gambling website, has them at 39.5 wins. That's their over-under. There's 82 games in a season. So to break even at 500, you got to win 41. They won 48 last year. FanDuel doesn't think they are going to win a lot of games, and I can see why. And this, the fascinating thing with the Grizzlies right now, right, is I think back to something a mentor said to me. It's like, Harry, you won't get too far if you only run with one shoe, because you got to be all in. And right now, are the Grizzlies all in? I don't know. Because the move they made this summer, trading their best three-point shooter, Desmond Bane, for sure, 4 first-round picks, tells you they're kind of over here and they're kind of over here. They're kind of thinking about the future and they're kind of playing for now, because they're still paying Jaren Jackson Jr. big bucks, and they're still paying John Morant's on a $200 million deal. Are you going to move John Morant? And it really kind of tells me that they might have some moves down the road. But I do think it's fascinating. And I want to touch on John Morant, who you see right there. John Morant is a prodigious talent. You know, he was that out of Murray State. He was that the first few years in the league. The Grizzlies, I mean, their ascent when he got into the league, so he was drafted in 2019. In 2022, his third year in the league, they're a 2 seed. And people are like, what's going on in Memphis? John Morant has taken the Grizzlies to a 2 seed. 2023, they're another 2 seed. And 2024 and last year, they just fall off the earth. And it's off the court problems. It's on the court problems. I'm wondering if John Morant really has the work ethic to be a great player, because he's not very tall. He's 6'2". And you look at the guys that are under 6'5" in this league. There are some power players. Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards is 6'4", but Anthony Edwards, who couldn't shoot, picked up a jump shot, picked up a three-point shot. League average is 36% for a three-point shooter. Morant's shooting at a 30% clip. I just wonder if this guy, who hasn't developed into a three-point shooter and has all of this talent, he's so reliant, as you can see. Let's see what he does here. Drives right to the rim. You know, he's unbelievable at that, but it's a dangerous game, and it's not a long-term strategy for an NBA basketball player that's putting a lot of, you know, wear and tear on your body. I just wonder, you know, what will this Grizzlies team be? Because you really lose a guy in Desmond Bane. Sure, you get 4 first-round picks for him, and that's great. But it just feels like a weird makeup of a team that won 48 games last year. And I've got this article from, let me see, SB Nation. We're going to look at SB Nation, and this is, let's see what the title is, NBA Power Rankings. October 16th, which is when I'm recording the show, by the way. 2026 championship chances from 30 all the way to number 1. Let's see where the Grizzlies fall. I want to actually go through this whole article, because you look at some of the teams, and I'm going to guess Oklahoma City and Houston and Minnesota and Denver and the Lakers, all of these great Western Conference teams are going to be near the top of the list. I actually have not seen this list, but let's see where the Grizzlies are. Washington Wizards, no surprise, 30th. Utah Jazz, Brooklyn Nets, Charlotte Hornets, New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, so we haven't gotten to the Grizzlies yet. The Phoenix Suns fall from grace themselves. Sacramento Kings, Chicago Bulls. I mean, all of these teams, you know, the Phoenix Suns, great a few years ago. They've got just Devin Booker going right now. We've got the 76ers. We've got the Indiana Pacers. We've got the Miami Heat. We've got the Portland Trailblazers. We're going to 18. We still haven't gotten to the Grizzlies, and we're going to 18. Okay, here we go. Memphis Grizzlies, 17. Let's see what SB Nation writes. It's hard to remember now, but the Grizzlies were sitting in number 2 in the West for much of last season before an epic collapse. They were sitting at the number 2 spot just a few years ago as well. Memphis replaced its head coach. Taylor Jenkins no longer there. Traded Desmond Bane and is trying to thread the needle of completing for a playoff berth while still being able to land a premium lottery pick after acquiring the rights to the Suns' first rounder in the Bane trade. I would believe in the mission more if the roster wasn't already weighed down by injuries. Zach Edey and Jaren Jackson Jr. will both miss the start of the year, recovering from surgery, and Morant is already dealing with all of these things here. But it's just, will the Grizzlies bounce back? Boston is in at 16, Milwaukee in at 15, Dallas at 14. So it's just, you're looking at these teams here. San Antonio 13. Detroit Pistons. We've got my man Colin Cody. Colin, you want to come over here? I've only got one camera here.
Oh yeah,
Colin,
here.
what's going on? Talk to the fans here.
Well, I heard you say Jaren Jackson Jr. was going to miss the start of the season, but in fact, he made his debut in the preseason on the road the other day in Charlotte when they took on the Charlotte Hornets in Greensboro. So that's a good sign there. Then I think there was a possibility that Ja Morant, who said verbatim that the medical staff were tweaking for not letting him play or suit up for the preseason so far. So I think he'll be ready to go by season begins on October 22nd when they take on the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay, well, Colin, I record this for all of you viewers out there. You're probably wondering, what time do you record this? I record this in the office when no one's here.
I'm here.
But Colin is actually in the office, and he overheard me recording. So this makes it great, Colin. You're gonna have to kind of get to the mic here.
All right, I'm here.
And this is just raw broadcasting, folks. Where this wasn't planned. But Colin, I'm a little pessimistic on the Grizzlies right now.
You mind if I pull up a seat? I don't want to be
Yeah. Pull up a seat. Pull up a seat. We're gonna have to share one mic because I haven't programmed it.
That's cool. Let me drop this down. Oh.
Yeah, hop in here.
Oh man, no, you're taller than me.
If you want to actually join me for the rest of my stream, you feel it's actually because I'm so versatile. I can talk about everything. But the thing is, we've already got through the news.
But it's easier if I want to get up and leave. I can just roll away.
You can roll away.
Yeah.
You can roll away. Well, my next take, you might spit out whatever you got in because I'm gonna say Ryan Silverfield, who's your boy.
He's a good dude.
He's heading to Penn State. That's my last take. But we're not gonna get there.
You think Ryan?
We got to close it out with the Grizzlies season preview.
All right.
Okay. So I'm thinking. I'm just my analogy, Colin, was this team feels like they got one shoe on and one shoe off. Because you make the Desmond Bane trade, but you're still paying Morant $200 million. You're still committed to Jaren Jackson Jr. Maybe that's just the league we're in with these salaries here.
That is the league we're in.
But it's just. Do you think it's a rebuilding year, or do you think? And make sure you get into the mic here. Do you think it's a rebuilding year, or do you think the Grizzlies are really going for it?
It's not a rebuilding year. It's definitely, I think, a season of which that they want to see where they are, how far they are from the pinnacle. Obviously, last year, how things fell, getting swept 4-0 to the OKC Thunder, not ideal. I mean, no one wants to get swept, but they did get into the playoffs, but they were the 2 seeds. So it's a lot to break down there. We don't have that type of time tonight, but I will say this. The Grizzlies is not a rebuilding season. When you have Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. healthy on the team like this with a Kentavious Caldwell Pope and a Ty Jerome, then you're expecting Zach Edey to come back before All-Star break. You're not rebuilding. You are simply changing course a little bit.
See, and that's what makes good content, folks, is we're playing both sides. I think one side, Colin thinks the other. I think this team doesn't know what they're doing.
I'm from here. I'm a homer.
He's a homer. I'm a Timberwolves fan.
See?
I'm objective.
You want to listen to this guy?
But I'm an objective reporter.